what the rail unions are doing is they've realised that effectively if they strike over commuting days, Monday to Friday, they're not actually going to have as much impact as they are if they go for the weekends. And that's why we've got a strike this coming Saturday, which is going to affect, of course, people going to Premier League and other football matches. The following strikes, it's time to start on a Thursday, normally a busy travel day. It will have an impact into the Friday and then also into the Saturday and the Sunday. And of course, ASLEF, the Train Drivers Union, the RMT, which is having the national strikes on the 18th and the 20th, want to cause as much disruption as they can. And they believe that those are the dates where they will have the most damage. And as Ellie was saying, sandwiched between them, a London Underground strike, which is going to make life difficult for people travelling within the capital. And of course, the many holidaymakers who actually want to travel from other parts of the UK to London.
It makes things difficult for many people, Simon, especially, like you say, at the weekend when people are just trying to get away and have a bit of sunshine. Where are we up to with the talks between the unions and the train companies? I mean, is there any end to this? Will they ever agree?
Well, eventually they will agree, but it's a question of how much damage is done to individual travellers' plans and the overall reputation of the rail industry. So let me tell you how this works. You've effectively got the rail unions, ASLEF representing the drivers, RMT representing most other people, also the Transport Salaried Staff Association. They are dealing with individual train operators plus Network Rail. But in effect, during the COVID pandemic, we had the situation of the railways effectively being renationalised, taxpayers paying £16 billion to keep trains running, many of them actually empty. The passengers are now coming back, but not in the same number. The unions are betting that the government is going to say, OK, we've got a bottomless credit card. We will continue to bail out the railways, and therefore we will pay wage rises which are not quite in line with inflation, but still pretty good. The government, meanwhile, is looking and thinking, hang on, the railways are simply not in the same position as they were. We haven't got the same passengers. Crucially, we haven't got the £2 billion or so pounds of season ticket revenue, because lots of people have found they can actually be hybrid workers. As a result, it's the passenger who's stuck in the middle. And ultimately, my fear as a regular rail user is that unless there can be an agreement, the only other way to reduce the huge subsidy which taxpayers are paying to keep trains running, and lots of your viewers will never go near a train, they'll just pay for them. The new leader will just come in and say, how much are we paying for the railways? Right, let's cut that, let's cut services. And then you go into a spiral of decline of the kind that we saw, unfortunately, in the 1970s and 80s.
Yeah, look, Minta, you might be a regular rail user, Simon, but you're more regular on the planes. So you're on the other side of the Atlantic at the moment. What's happening at the airports at the moment?
Right. Well, it's all very, very under stress. I was actually talking to the boss of the main operating airline of Ryanair, and he just says every single day is a struggle, partly because of the problems with air traffic control. Ryanair doing better than most other airlines. Jet2, actually, based in Leeds, doing best of all. But overnight, we're hearing of problems at Manchester Airport. Now, I've just heard about those on social media, problems with baggage handling, problems with UK Border Force. I haven't got a response from either of those from the airport or from UK Border Force, but it looks as though we've had an awful lot of late-running flights. Ryanair coming in 3 hours late from Palma, from Milan, from Alicante, delays on Jet2 and TUI as well. And if you get, for instance, at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 or 4 aircraft arriving unexpectedly, and you haven't got the staff in place, that makes things very, very stretched at Manchester Airport. Having said that, I don't want to be the voice of travel doom. Most people are getting away more or less on time and having a fantastic holiday.
That's the main thing we need to know. Simon, really good to talk to you. When are you back in Blighty?
Oh, not for weeks. I have too much trouble going on the train, so I'm going to be maybe sometime, Stephen. 27th of August is in my diary.